The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the human delegation presented their newest warship design. Ambassador Krell of the Vorthan Empire leaned back in his crystalline chair, mandibles clicking in what his species considered polite amusement. Around the circular chamber, representatives from dozens of advanced civilizations shared similar expressions of barely concealed mockery. "This is what you bring us?" Krell's voice resonated through his translator. "A crude metal construct with primitive chemical propulsion and kinetic weapons?" Captain James Rodriguez stood at the holographic display, his weathered face betraying no emotion as alien dignitaries examined the technical specifications of the UES Defiance. The human warship appeared blocky and utilitarian compared to the sleek, energy-based vessels favored by the galaxy's established powers. "The design prioritizes functionality over aesthetics," Rodriguez replied calmly. "Our engineers focused on redundancy, adaptability, and crew survivability." A series of harmonic tones emerged from the Melodian representative, which the universal translator rendered as laughter. "Survivability? Your species still relies on armor plating when proper shield technology has been available for millennia." "And these projectile weapons," added Counselor Vex from the Spiral Dominion, her four eyes blinking in sequence. "How quaint. Our plasma cannons can disintegrate matter at the molecular level." Rodriguez nodded respectfully. "We understand our technology appears primitive by galactic standards. However, we request permission to demonstrate our capabilities during the upcoming war games." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien voices. Some species communicated through bioluminescent patterns, others via electromagnetic pulses, but the message was universal. Humans were being humored, nothing more. High Admiral Thane of the Hegemony raised the appendage for silence. His species had dominated the galaxy's military doctrine for over 3,000 years. "Very well. Your single vessel may participate alongside our fleet exercises. Consider it a learning experience." 3 weeks later, the war games commenced in the Kepler 442 system. 50 of the galaxy's most advanced warships arranged themselves in perfect formation, their hulls gleaming with energy fields and exotic matter cores. The UES Defiance hung at the formation's edge like a dark, angular shadow. Captain Rodriguez studied the tactical display from his command chair. Around him, his crew of 200 worked with quiet efficiency. Unlike the automated systems favored by alien vessels, every station was staffed by a human operator. "Initial scenario beginning," announced the Hegemony command ship. "Enemy drones, approaching from Vector 77 Mark 12. The alien fleet responded with textbook precision. Plasma beams and particle cannons created brilliant light shows as they intercepted the incoming targets. Their movements were calculated, elegant, and utterly predictable. The Defiance held position, watching. "Sir," called Lieutenant Davis from the sensor station. "We're receiving criticism from the Vorthan flagship. They're questioning why we haven't engaged." Rodriguez smiled grimly. "Tell them we're observing enemy patterns." As the exercises progressed, something unexpected happened. The simulated enemy began adapting, learning from each engagement. What started as routine target practice evolved into increasingly complex scenarios. The alien fleet's rigid doctrines, perfected over millennia of fighting similar opponents, suddenly seemed inadequate. When a wave of enemy fighters broke through the formation's primary defense grid, panic rippled through the galactic fleet. Ships collided as they attempted emergency maneuvers their computers hadn't predicted. "Now," Rodriguez ordered quietly. The Defiance surged forward, its chemical rockets providing thrust that couldn't be disrupted by electromagnetic interference. While alien vessels struggled with compromised systems, the human ship carved through the chaos with brutal efficiency. Its kinetic weapons opened fire, projectiles traveling at significant fractions of light speed with no energy signature to detect. The enemy drones, designed to deflect energy weapons, were torn apart by solid matter moving faster than their sensors could track. But it was the ship's crew that truly shocked the watching aliens. When the Defiance's primary weapons array took damage, human engineers literally climbed outside the hull in pressure suits to make repairs under fire. When enemy hackers attempted to infiltrate their systems, Human operators disconnected automated networks and switched to manual control without missing a beat. The alien observers watched in amazement as the crude human vessel adapted to every challenge. Its crew improvised solutions that no computer would consider, took risks that violated every tactical doctrine, and somehow emerged victorious from scenarios that should have destroyed them. When the final simulation ended, the UES Defiance stood alone among scattered debris, its hull scarred but intact. The council chamber was silent for a long moment. Ambassador Krell's mandibles had stopped clicking entirely. "Your vessel," High Admiral Thane said slowly, "performed beyond all projections." "How?" Captain Rodriguez straightened his uniform. "Our ships aren't just machines, Admiral. They're extensions of our crews. We don't rely on perfect technology because perfection is brittle. When systems fail, when situations become impossible, when logic says to retreat, humans adapt and fight anyway." He gestured to the holographic display showing the Defiance. "You see primitive armor plating. We see protection that won't fail when enemy weapons drain our power. You see crude kinetic weapons. We see projectiles that work regardless of electromagnetic interference or energy-dampening fields. But most importantly," Rodriguez continued, "you see an obsolete crew where we see our greatest strength. Humans don't fight like computers, we fight like survivors." The Council voted unanimously to approve humanity's entry into the Galactic Defense Force. For the first time in millennia, they had encountered something truly new. Warriors who turned their limitations into advantages, who found strength in apparent weakness. As the human delegation prepared to leave, Ambassador Krell approached Captain Rodriguez privately. "Tell me honestly," the alien asked, "what happens when your species perfects the technologies we take for granted?" Rodriguez smiled, but his eyes remained cold as space itself. "Then you'll discover why we spent so long learning to fight without them."